Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? So, the 2014 American Music Awards. I'm going to go ahead and be honest. That had to be the longest award show to sit through. It just kept going. I was sitting there watching, like, how long is this thing going to be? And I mean, it was only 3 hours like the normal award show, but dang. I guess, like, when you get older and you stop keeping up with who's current and you really don't know who half the people on stage are, them award shows drag on for a bit, okay? It's kind of like when you got to go to your little brother's elementary recital at school and he's in like the band or something and you got to sit through the clarinet section and the flute section and the recorder section, plus you already got there late, so you got to stand up. So for 2.5 hours you're standing there like, that's what it felt like. I was like, how long is this thing gonna be? I'm gonna be honest, I fell asleep during part of the show. So there's a whole section I missed because there was just a period of boringness in the middle. Just talk about some good sleep, man. Anyway, let me get to the show. So Taylor Swift opened the show and she did her performance, and you know, the performance was a Taylor Swift performance. That's all I'll say. I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, but I do recognize that what she does something for her fans, and I'll leave it at that. So she did her performance, and you know, it's interesting to see that, you know, she's kind of changed her sound up a bit, and you know, she's not really as pop country anymore. She's just going straight pop, kind of, you know, like the Katy Perry type sound stuff. So, you know, it's interesting. I'm sure some of her fans are a little pissed off because I know, you know, some of them teenage girls that used to carry their guitars to school just like Taylor did. I know they pissed off now. This is kind of like that time Beyonce went on the BET Awards and performed Ave Maria, and everybody was, huh? What? Ave Maria? You know, not against Ave Maria. We're real eclectic, but dang, we was like, it was already sad because Michael Jackson had just died. We were trying to get hype, and we wanted her to get up there and party a bit, and she came out there, you know, and it was like, oh, okay, cool. So, I wonder how some of the Taylor fans are taking to like her new sound. And then she also won that award, and it kind of showcased a lot of her, you know, accolades and her accomplishments over the past few years. And she's really done a lot in a quick amount of time, you know, especially in this industry. So literally she's carrying the industry right now, in the opinions of some. Moving on. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is when I fell asleep. I nodded off because some group was performing or something. I was out. And then I think I slept through about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 acts. So when I woke up, a good 40 minutes had passed. So when I woke up, Sam Smith was performing. I was like, okay, cool. So Sam Smith had a really good performance. He had the live band, he had the orchestra, and you know I like instruments because people don't like music in 2014. Everybody just want to have a DJ and some playback. I can't get with that. Give me some band and give me all of that. He had it down. So Sam Smith, he did his thing. Really great performance. Great vocals too. He's really done a great job of crossing over and appeasing all the different audiences that he's exposed to. And A$AP Rocky was in whatever song he performed, and I was like, okay, cool, all right. So they're gonna make sure they meet the black quota tonight. So I was like, okay, cool. Iggy Azalea also performed. I guess it was an okay performance. I'm not big on Iggy either, and it would be my same explanation with Iggy. You know, I guess what Iggy does works for Iggy's fans. I guess I would like Iggy a little bit more if I didn't feel that she was such a, I don't want to say gimmick because that sounds kind of mean, but yeah, if she wasn't such a gimmick. Like, it's like the whole thing about this borrowed black accent that she gets when she performs, and then how she turns it on and turns it off. I don't like that. It's like blackface without the paint. I would like her more if she would just go ahead and be Australian. You come up here, you start rapping with an Australian accent, and you got a good flow and a good delivery, I can rock with you. But when you coming up there and you done studied and borrowed, you know, these Atlanta accents that you done borrowed, and the first things first, I'm the really, you know, it's just, it doesn't feel as genuine. And then, on top of that, I was confused because when she was performing, she had the bit on the set where it was like the Black Panther type of looking thing, and it said power, and I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know if you trying to be deep and all, but I don't remember seeing too many Mike Brown tweets on your Twitter handle. And I don't remember seeing anything about Eric Garner either. But I'll be quiet. So, but, you know, if you're going to be deep and try to be down, I need you to be all the way. You with us through the whole thing. Don't just use this when it's beneficial. But the performance was kind of cool. You know, the visuals were great. She had the dancers. She knows how to kind of, or the team behind her knows how to present her. I'll say that. She could have had a little bit more energy, but it's cool, I guess. She won a lot of awards, and she does what she does, and it works for her fans. So, Iggy, you do you, I guess. Lorde. Is it Lorde or Lorde? I don't know. But Lorde, let me tell you about Lorde. Lorde. Maybe her name is Lorde. I had almost nodded off again. And then all I heard was this weird humming sound. I'm like, what in the hell? And I look at the TV, and it's Lorde. And they got the camera in on her face like this or whatever. I'm like, what in the hell is she? Some weird ass song. See, like, I like Lorde her personality. She has a fun, mature, I get along with you easy. You know what? If we're in the line at Target together, she'll be that person that spark up a conversation while you're waiting in the line, and you'll talk about baseball or something. But my God, that girl does the weirdest stuff, and I can't get with it. Okay, unless your name is Bjork, I don't want it. All right, Bjork is the only one and Khalees are the only two that I can rock with when they do that weird stuff. I don't know what she was doing, but I just came from church, and it seemed a little demonic to me, so I had to pray and rebuke that. So we moved on. But, yeah, I don't know what type of bumblebee mess that was. Ariana Grande performed, or Ariana Grande, I don't know. I think it's Grande. Grande to us Americans who don't know how to freaking learn any other language but English. Grande to those who are a little bit more cultured. She performed. You know, some people like to call her Diet Mariah, but that's fine, whatever. Call it what you want. I enjoyed her performance. She has a really great tone. And I like the little opening she did with the first song she did. Like, really, she has such a really pretty tone. I wish her voice had a little bit more bottom to it where it's a little heavier sometimes. Because what happens is when she sings very fast, you can't understand what she's saying. And she starts singing in that grandinese. Because, you know, there's some singers who, they sing really fast, you don't know what they're saying. They speak that, you add a knees to it. So Toni Braxton does that too, when she mumbles a little bit, Braxtonese. And Janet does that when she does her thing, Jacksonese. So she was singing in grandinese tonight on that part, on that song she did, and The Weeknd came out, and, you know, he had a very interesting hair option, and I was like, that's cool for The Weeknd. Hopefully, you know, it's going to be Monday tomorrow, so maybe we might try something a little different. But he has a really great voice too, but he has one of them high registers, so sometimes all that high and high just drives me crazy. I need somebody who can sing a little lower to balance it out. But no, she had a really great performance, and she also knows the importance of a band. So Ariana, I rock with you for that. Pitbull performed. And like I've said with every award show where I critique a Pitbull performance, Pitbull is fun at the club. Pitbull is fun at the public event. Pitbull is fun when you're with a crowd of people. But if you have to sit and watch it, it's not enjoyable, because a Pitbull performance is like watching a party that you didn't get invited to. It's like you go to the club and they didn't let you in because the club is at capacity, so you just got to stand outside and you can hear the music from the parking lot. That's a Pitbull performance to me. So he did what he did, and I was like, yeah, okay, awesome, great, cool, can't wait, yeah, great, awesome. And Neo was on it too, and you know, I ain't seen Neo since Red Tails. So I was like, okay, cool. So they did what they did, I guess. Who else? Oh, Selena Gomez performed, and apparently, whatever song she performed, it was just so profound and so deep. And this is around the time I was nodding off again. It was so profound and so deep and so touching that all the girls in the audience were crying. And Taylor Swift was tearing up, and Selena looked like she was about to cry. And I was like, what did I miss? I didn't feel any emotion. I wanted to cry too. I guess I wasn't there to experience whatever she went through. But my thing is, when you do these songs that are so touching and so deep, I need the vocal delivery to kind of match it. It's not like she can't sing. It's just, there was nothing to, I don't know, I don't know. I was like, okay, Selena, whatever, but cool, I guess. If y'all liked it, I liked it. You know, that's going to be one of them songs they played all the high school proms in the suburbs in the spring this year. I can see that being everybody's breakup song. Moving on, and I think she kind of was lipping. I don't even know if she was singing that live, but oh well, Selena, cool, I guess. One Direction performed, and here's my thing with One Direction. I keep forgetting that they are this really huge group, and it's because I've never heard, I don't know any of their songs. And, you know, they've broken all these records and sold all these records, and they're number one at this, number one at that. And it just goes to show you how different the industry is. Because I know, like, before the digital era, if you were number one at anything, everybody knew who you were and knew your music. Like, even if you didn't listen to the genre, if it was number one, you knew it. Like, when Alanis Morissette Jagged Little Pill came out, I knew all them singles. Ironic, You Learn, You Ought to Know. And I didn't listen to rock like that, but I knew all the words because she was number one at the time, and it was everywhere. One Direction, I don't ever know, or if they are playing in the grocery store when I'm buying, you know, my carton of milk or whatever, I sure don't know it's them. So, I don't know. So, they hyped them up for this performance, and I'm like, oh, One Direction, okay, I want to see the greatness, okay? I want to scream like the teenage girls in the audience. I want to be moved. And they performed and did this cornbread in a bucket of milk folk song or something they sang, and I was like, okay, all right. And it was cool, just, I guess. Well, at least it ain't the Wanted, because that was one sorry group there. I couldn't stand that group, because I don't even know how they got famous, because they couldn't really sing, they didn't dance, they just were there. And then one of them was like 59, so I'm like, what type of group? So One Direction, they were cool, and once again, One Direction is for their fans. So the One Direction fans, if y'all love it and y'all are enjoying it and it makes you feel better about your day, y'all go ahead in that direction and follow One's direction. Cool. Moving on. Oh, then once again, they had to meet the black quota because, you know, we weren't really invited tonight unless we were featured in somebody else's performance. So they had Lil Wayne come out because he's the commercial luxury rapper that everybody knows, whether he has a song out on the radio or not. So Lil Wayne performed some crap that ain't nobody was paying attention to. And, you know, Christina Milian came and she was in the song too. And we haven't seen her since Dip It Low in AM to PM on Disney. So that was interesting. It wasn't. It really didn't have to happen. It didn't have to take place. It wouldn't have made a difference between today and tomorrow. So next time AMAs, I know you need to get your rapper in there, but you could have called Drake. You could have called J. Cole. You could have called Kendrick Lamar. You could have called Wale. Somebody. Lil Wayne's cool, but y'all don't got to use him every freaking time. Y'all don't have him on the award shows even when he ain't got an album out. Nicki Minaj performed. Nicki seemed like she was pissed off all night, didn't she? I don't know. Did y'all get that same vibe? Like she just seemed like she was just mad the whole night. I wish she would have performed a different song too. It's kind of like she always misses the ball or drops the ball when it comes to the song selections at these award shows. I feel like award shows are supposed to be so grand and so whatever it is that when you perform your song, everybody wants to go out and buy it the next day, or everybody is so intrigued by what you did. And it was like the song just didn't connect. But I mean, that's kind of, her catalog in general doesn't really do much for me. But every now and then she'll drop something real hard, like, when she was on the Monster song or Roman's Revenge or something like that. Stuff like that. I'm like, all right, get it, Nicki, I see you. But I didn't really get it from this song. I know she's trying to be very universally appealing to everybody. But I don't know. I just felt she could have, seeing that her rival, that Iggy Azalea is kind of just, taking up all her awards tonight, I would have thought she would have came a little bit harder. But hey, that's cool. Nicki fans, if she does what she does for y'all, like I said about the other 10 people I done talked about tonight, y'all, let her do her. But she looked very nice. Moving on. Oh, Fergie was reincarnated and she showed up and she performed some new song I've never heard, and I guess it was cool. She was a little stiff. I ain't seen her since the Black Eyed Peas, but I was like, okay, cool, Fergie. I guess the song would have to grow on me. It's not a bad song. It's not a great song either. It's just cool. It'll work for whatever commercial it's on, but it was kind of interesting to see her. Hopefully Gwen Stefani can reemerge too since Fergie's out. Actually, no, just give me No Doubt, because that was my group. Garth Brooks performed, and we're not going to talk about him because nobody watching this video knows anything or could care less about Garth Brooks, so we'll move on. Different generation. Mary J. Blige performed, and she performed one of the new songs off her London Sessions album, and I'll be excited to get that album. I wish she would have performed something different too, just because the type of song that she was performing, I don't think fits for that type of audience. The AMAs has been very dumbed down lately, where it's very youth-oriented, so I feel like the majority demographic that was watching tonight were like people that were born after 96. So of course they're looking at Mary like, this is Rolling in a Deep Part 9 you're singing. What is this? So, I guess. And I was waiting for the beat to drop on the song. I'm like, when does the beat drop? And the beat dropped at the end. I was like, oh, okay. All right, Mary, I'll take it though. So I suggest you get that out. Me and Mary are like this, so she can do no wrong in my book, depending on what day of the week it is. And today was Sunday, so I don't know. Then they did Bang Bang. Ariana came back out, and Jessie J and Nicki. And listen, I like Jessie J, because Jessie J be singing from her uterus. That girl be singing and just riffing and running. And I like when people can just growl and holler at it all day. And then you get Ariana on there, and they just tag team and So they were singing, and Nicki came back out still looking pissed off, but it was a good performance. I liked their Bang Bang performance from the VMAs a little bit more because it was like the energy was just better. But it was cool, great performance. That's just a fun song. It was a great song in the summer and coming in the fall. The last performance of the night, I can just put this down too, was J-Lo and Iggy Azalea again. J-Lo did her booty song because, in the day and age where your time starts to wind down as an entertainer because you're crossing the threshold into getting older, you have to do certain things to kind of stay a little bit more relevant. So J-Lo's decided to use her biggest asset to help her sell records, and I don't know if it's working or not because I don't know where Big Booty is on the charts, but so she did her Partition performance, and fortunately, right before I was about to turn it off, because I really like J-Lo. To me, J-Lo is J-Lo is the closest thing I can get to Janet since Janet just decided to move to the Middle East and hide somewhere. J-Lo, I like her, and she has a bit of a legacy, but I get kind of disappointed when she kind of sells herself out with gimmicks. But what saved her was the second half of the performance. After she finally stopped busting it wide open for the camera, she finally gave me a J-Lo performance, and was riffing and running around the stage, and they had the brass section and the choreography, and that was good. I was like, cool, J-Lo, that's the J-Lo I know. Anyway, that was my 2 cents on the award show. It was a long show. I know this review was long, but that award show felt like an eternity. Gosh, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta be sitting up all late, and I still gotta upload this video now. Share your 2 cents on the award show. Tell me what you thought. I know I missed a lot of people in the middle. You can just tell me who they were and what they did and if you liked it or not. And I'm out. Subscribe.